Ohayo gozaimasu, minasan. It is that time. It is your it's time to unblock yourself. And at the beginning of the year, I started this mindset of wabikigai, which is wabi sabi, ikigai, ichigo ichie, and ikigai. And just go back a few episodes. This is episode 415. Yesterday I was talking about being in the fog. Well, first off, I was talking about being in the fog, and then how the fog, being in the fog, being unclear, gets you on this path to unsuccess. And now I want to focus shift, okay, from that failure path to not see things as a failure. I was talking to my daughter this morning. Oh my goodness. And I was asking her, well, I was telling you guys before, what are you failing at? What do you think you're failing at? And is it a failure really? Because it might just be a lesson or an opportunity to go to the next level once you get over it, right? So I was asking her, and she was just like, I'm not failing at anything. And I was like, really not failing, not academically, but what are you struggling with? Because once we can identify those things, it's a lot easier to get over those hurdles. And she was just like, well, you're not gonna like it. And I'm like, well, what is it? And she told me something that was so small, but in her teenage mind, it was like something that she was really dealing with. I'm trying to understand this problem. And I was like, let's look at this together. And by the time I dropped her off at school, it was solved. And she felt good about herself. I think she really she's going to be able to just take on today like nothing else. Like she's going to be unstoppable today. And it was just that simple. Just like me trying to get Japanese down, and I went to my sensei and she was like, it's just you. And once I understood it, it's just me. I'm able to go to the next level. So I was writing this down. So how do we become a little bit clearer on these things, right? And what we need to do is focus shift. Not seeing it as a failure or a struggle, but an opportunity. Okay. I was reading a devotion this morning, and it was talking a little bit about the same thing. He was saying that he attached numbers to everything. So he is an analytical statistics person, and he attached numbers to everything. His books, his courses that he writes, everything that he had, he attached a number to it. And if he didn't hit that number, his goal, it was a failure, and he felt bad and depressed, and it's the end of the world. And God showed him, we need to change this, because everything that you've done, just say your book, for instance, think about your book that you got in you, or your experiences. Was it a failure, or was it a failure, or is it an opportunity? I think about my book. My book didn't sell all that good, but the people who actually got it, or I've given it to, I prayed that it's an answer to prayer. And he did the same thing. He said the same exact thing. He saw his book or his courses or things as an answer to a prayer. Is that a failure if somebody takes it and get changed? It's not a failure. It might not have gotten to where you wanted it to get to, but hey, it's not a failure. So as it stands, thinking about it, right now, if you were to ask me something, or if you started talking to me in Japanese, my Japanese is no better than it was last week, right? But let me tell you what this but is all about. The focus is the focus on failure has shifted. It's not failure. It is a opportunity. Since I'm out of the fog, I have a clear understanding of where I want to go. Now, even this morning, as I was taking a lesson, the things that it was teaching was on the level of where I wanted to go. It was hard. And I'm like, I'm going to have to do this like 50 more times to get it down. But it started getting into grammar. It started getting into punctuation. It started getting into phrases of stuff. You know, it wasn't just vocabulary. It is teaching how to do things or how to say things. And then, you know, I started another course, and that course took the basic things and just took it to a whole nother level. And I don't know if it's because I'm ready for it now, or it's always been that way and I just was blocking myself from getting there. Even kanji, understand some kanji, but my eyes, my heart, my spirit has been opened up to another level because I didn't see it as failure anymore. I felt unblocked. What this whole thing is about. Unblock yourself. So, with that being said, God is like showing me why I need to do things. And that why, having a renewed why, helps you to focus on not failure, but the opportunity behind that failure. It's a renewed sense of why. And I'm excited about that. Ooh, I'm excited about that. I keep saying that. I'm just excited about that. My daughter this morning, she was just like, you're hyper. Talking about failure. But this was the key, the whole thing about this. And this is what I was telling her this morning. The more intense or more clear, or the more clear your why is, it gives that hope. It gives you a boost of morale. Okay, it gives you a focus and a determination, the willpower to do the impossible. Once that is there, that renewed why, you know, before God gives, like I said, God gives you a vision and you start on it and you're doing it and you're working on it and you meeting people here, the doors open here and you're doing this and you're doing that and all, you know, eventually it starts to get old. That's why we got to keep focused on not the failures, but the lessons, the opportunities that's there. Once I got to the point to where, hey, I need the failure. I need the opportunity behind that failure. I need to make mistakes. Once I got over that, the fear dissipates. Okay, the fear starts to go away, and you're looking for it. Okay, I'm gonna mess up. I'm about to mess up big time. And after that, I'm going to know some stuff. Okay? And that's exciting. I'm about to fail. That's exciting. Just think about how people take risks. And I know you might, a lot of millionaires, they'll have $1 million and blow it all on a certain risk, right? And it fails miserably. But a couple of years later, you look and they have more, even though everything is gone, with that experience and the know-how and the know what not to do and the things like that and the connections that they've built, they're in a better place with more millions than they did when they had the $1 million in the first place, in the beginning. And that's how I see it. Man, I'm about to mess up. But after that, after I correct it and I get the backing and everybody pushing me to you can do it, I'm about to. Once you do that, I'm a steamroller. You better get out of my way, because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to mess up, because I know one thing, God got my back. But after that mess up, after I learned the lesson, I can teach others how not to do that, or guide somebody. Oh, I've been through that, man. I already messed that up. Been there, done that. And this is how I made it through. And you can too. So with that being ready, that shift in focus from failure to opportunity, you'll see the more failures, the more opportunities. The more opportunities, the more chances you got to just really make it, to do the things that you've been called to do. So I'm excited for me. I'm excited for you. Like I said, I keep praying for me, because I'm praying for you, and I think it's working. All right. So you guys have an awesome day, because mine started off great. So kampai. And I love you very much.